Hello, I'm Al Hopkins, and I'd be honored to have your vote for Attorney General. Friends, the time has come for Mississippi to hire a new lawyer. It's time to put a real general in the Attorney General's office. As I see it, the job of Attorney General is straightforward: to ensure the people of Mississippi are treated fairly and justly, to serve with judgment, thoroughness, and toughness, to be relentless in battling corruption and abuse of power. That's the type of Attorney General I'll be. How can you be sure that I will be that kind of Attorney General? Here's who I am, and here's my values that I hold dear. I was born in North Mississippi. I was raised on a small farm in a town called Walnut. I learned the value of hard work as a young man from my father, who ran the family farm and who worked in the local post office with my mother. I graduated from Delta State, where I played on a basketball scholarship, and earned my law degree from Ole Miss. Then I joined a law firm in Jackson. Before work took my wife Ruth and I to Gulfport, where we raised our children and we live today. Along the way, I joined the military as an enlisted man in the 31st Infantry Division and retired as a Major General. I served 4 years as the Assistant Adjutant General of the state of Mississippi. It's my privilege to continue serving our state today as Chief Judge of the Military Court of Appeals. But enough about me. Let's talk about this race. Every single one of you has a lawyer, the Attorney General for the state of Mississippi. You hire him with your vote. The people of Mississippi are his only client. He works for you and you alone. Your taxes pay his salary. Your taxes pay his pension. Your taxes provide his staff. You pay to turn his lights on. And whether he likes it or not, the Attorney General answers to you. What should you expect once you've hired this attorney? You should expect that while you work hard every day and pursue your dreams, your attorney is looking out for you, making sure you're treated fairly and justly. You should expect your attorney to keep you safe and always have your best interest in mind. And when your attorney finds wrongdoing, you should expect him to prosecute the criminal to the fullest extent of the law. The attorney has to measure up to what you expect and what you deserve. He has to earn his paycheck and your trust. But what do you say to your Attorney General when you discover that he's been putting his own private interest, his personal ambition, and the well-being of his political friends well above the interest of you, his client? You tell your attorney, you're fired. Folks, your Attorney General, Jim Hood, the man who you're paying to crack down on crooked politicians, dropped 10 counts of embezzlement against a circuit clerk in Natchez, allowing him to escape jail, stay in office, and even run for re-election. Even worse, your Attorney General took over $400,000 in campaign contributions from law firms he's given a no-bid contract. His largest contributor cashed that contract in for $14 million. $14 million to his largest political contributor. Folks, in my opinion, that's illegal and it's wrong. It's a system of corruption that we cannot allow to continue. That's why I entered this race. Mississippi is on the move, but corruption in our state is holding us back. We can no longer turn a blind eye toward it and dismiss it as politics as usual. It doesn't have to be that way. But something has to be done about it, or it will continue. We must hold Jim Hood accountable for the way he sold the office of Attorney General and sold Mississippians' trust to his political cronies. It's time to tell Jim Hood you're fired. It's time to hire a new Attorney General who will always put the interest of Mississippi first and punish public corruption. We deserve an Attorney General who will look out for Mississippians first, not his political contributors. Although, in my opinion, it should not be needed, unlike my opponent, I support the Sunshine Bill because the taxpayers deserve transparency and accountability on who the Attorney General hires. But I won't wait for the legislature to give the taxpayers the accountability that they deserve. From day one, I'll open my books, everyone to see who's on the taxpayers' payroll, and require those who are to keep detailed records of their time. You should know where your money is going. Additionally, Mississippians should expect their Attorney General to aggressively fight public corruption. I'll push the legislature to ensure that politicians who are convicted of a felony involving corruption in office no longer receive their taxpayer-financed pensions. No elected official who's been so convicted should continue to pocket the taxpayers' money. It's wrong, and I'll do everything I can to end it. I'll also urge the legislature to clean up the legal loopholes so that we can immediately remove elected officials from office upon conviction. It's an embarrassment to our state that folks like Jefferson County Circuit Clerk Burnell Harris, who was convicted in July in federal court of 9 counts of embezzlement, money laundering, and tax evasion, remained in office and unbelievably even remained on the ballot. That's wrong. I'm going to do something about it. It doesn't solve the problem, however, of Binky Vines, where Jim Hood dropped those 10 counts of embezzlement. That's an example of a difference between Jim Hood and me. I'll never drop 10 counts of embezzling the taxpayers' money. I'll never allow politicians who abuse the public trust to remain free and even in office today. Cleaning up corruption in Mississippi will be my top priority, and I won't rest until we root it out of our government. Of all of our elected officials, you shouldn't have to ask, is the Attorney General looking out for me or his political friends? Is the man in front of the camera the same man when he's behind closed doors, when he thinks no one's looking? You should never have to question what the Attorney General's first priority is, the public interest or his own self-interest. If you trust me with your vote, you won't have to ask, because when I take a commitment, it's more than a contract. It's an oath, it's my word, it's my solemn vow. I don't break a trust, and I don't sell it either. That's the way I've lived my life, and that's the kind of Attorney General I'll be. It's time for Mississippi to hire a new Attorney General. My fellow Mississippians, you have the power to put a real general in the Attorney General's office, an Attorney General from whom you can finally expect more. The great state of Mississippi deserves no less. My name is Al Hopkins, and I'm running for Attorney General. I'd consider it a high honor to have your vote. Thank you.